ARRMA tough, up to a point, guys.
So guys, we've all heard the expression ARRMA tough. So is the ARRMA Talion 6S ARRMA tough? Well, in this video, you're going to see me take the ARRMA Talion running on 6S and the optional speed gearing down at my favourite place, Shell Sands. Now you have to bear in mind it's called Shell Sands, guys, because all of the jumps down there are made up of like billions of tiny crushed up shells, which do come into play in this video, as you will see, and I'll show you at the end of the video precisely what happened to the car. As you may look at it, it's not sitting quite right, which gives you some indication that all does not entirely go to plan in this video. However, I would say though, the car went out there with its stock setting, stock oils in all the shocks, stock out of box spring settings on there, because I just wanted to see just how much I could push the thing before we ran into any problems or needed any modifications on there. Anyway, take a look at the video. All tips and advice on what I should do with the shock oils, spring settings, both front and back, much appreciated. Anyway, have a look at it. It does go quite well, but as I say, all is not well at the end of the video, but I'll turn the car around and show you the rear right at the end. And as ever guys, if you like this stuff, don't forget to subscribe. Plenty more to come from this car.
Well, a gorgeous Californian sunny evening. I brought the ARRMA Talion out to play on 6S down at Shell Sands, and it's looking pretty good down there today. A little bit of water around. The jumps are looking nice and smooth today due to all the months of heavy rain. Seems to have smoothed everything down, which fingers crossed might be in the Talion's favour.
And today guys, I'm running on 6S with the speed gearing fitted, so should be recipe for some good fun times ahead.
And my land wheels up.
Well guys, I'm just starting off on some of the lower down stuff, just getting a feel for how it handles through the air, what the balance of the car's like, how much it wants to do flip or not, as the case may be. Oh, right.
Power in this thing has to be seen to be believed, actually. Nice one, Reg. Caught it for once. And the battery's not come loose. Ooh.
One day soon I'm going to absolutely nail this curve flat out, but I still keep trying with different cars and can't seem to manage it with that banking on there. But one day 65 miles an hour on that curve is going to be blistering. That's not bad though, guys.
Well, I say ARRMA tough, but I have a feeling that rear wheel does not look quite right.
Okay guys, well in that video, two things happen with the car. The first thing is this tyre, which I'll take the camera down off the tripod and show you in a bit more detail just how much damage there is to the tyre. Now, it seemed to be down to excessive ballooning, but bearing in mind the surface it was on that I mentioned at the start, those like millions of little shells on there, could have been a shell that just caught a tiny little nick in the tyre. However, this car has recently been on its 6S speed run test, and what we found in the past is when you run the ARRMAs flat out and the tyres are ballooned up on the speed run test, very shortly thereafter, one or more of the tyres will pop. It's as though the rubber stretches on the speed run tests and that then weakens it. The same thing happened on my ARRMA Nero. After taking it out for a speed run test, very next day, bang, one of the tyres blew out. That could happen to anybody. Maybe I've just been twice unlucky on that. Not too big an issue. I was considering replacing the tyres anyway. I've already got some belted ones on order for some speedrun stuff. Anyway, let's have a look at the back of the car. That is where all is not well. And I think on that very last jump in the film there, I did something like a double, if not a triple on there. I actually landed on all four wheels, but it came down with such a bang that it's damaged the rear suspension. It's fairly easy repair if a little bit pricey, because wait till you see what's happened to the drive shaft.
Well,
But just before I show you that drive shaft, guys, this is the damage to the tyre. I mean, it's completely blown itself out. The foam, that half the foam actually blew out the tyre, completely ripped itself off the rim. So definitely need some new boots on that. Now, at the back here, doesn't look too bad on the face of it until you notice this shock is no longer attached to the shock tower. But if you look at it, there is all the holes, all the screw holes are free on there. It appears as though the screw has sheared off from the end there, but luckily it didn't leave anything in the shock tower itself, so that should be a fairly simple job to replace the screw on there. Not quite. I think what's probably happened is it bottomed out, but as I said, I was running this stock out of the box, so we've got whatever shock oil weight it came with from the factory in the shocks at the back. The same on the spring settings. I didn't adjust anything on there. This is what it came with out of the box. As I said, all advice on the spring settings and the shock oils are much appreciated on there. Probably pushing it a little bit harder than it was designed to with the factory settings and the factory shock oils on there. But do let me know your thoughts, guys. The main kicker out of all this, because I was thinking that looked okay, just check out that drive shaft. And more to the point, let Richie rotate the wheel, because you will notice the drive shaft is fairly well bowed. Now, this is where it gets moderately annoying. A new set of drive shafts, a pair, is $45. So while ARRMAs are pretty tough, when they do go wrong, it is going to cost you a little bit more pricey. But then that is something I would say about them, is it's going to go wrong far less than with certain other brands of cars. So that's the kind of downside to the thing being ARRMA tough. When it goes wrong, it's going to cost you more expensive, but in general, it's not going to go wrong as much as with other brands. So, onwards and upwards there, guys, or not upwards for a while anyway. So there we have it, guys. Is the ARRMA Talion ARRMA tough? I would say it is, because that probably came down, well, that landed on all four wheels, that probably come down the best part from 25 foot up vertically, so and for just that time, not bad. If that car had a lot more plastic in it, that whole rear end could have just been smashed to pieces. Bit annoying to have bent the drive shaft, but these things happen, and more for me, because if I'd gone looked at what people were doing, changed the spring settings on there, put a different shock oil in there, the thing probably wouldn't have bottomed out, because I suspect that's what's happened, is the thing simply bottomed out, the shocks bust away, and that's then bent the drive shaft on there. But these things are sent to testers. Still love it a bit, so I think it will be absolutely incredible in the air. I'm going to do a few mods in terms of the internals, putting things like the braces inside the car to give it a bit of strength. But overall, I'm quite pleased with it. Well, is it still ARRMA tough, guys? Well, today I think it gets a whole pass, because it didn't do badly considering what I was throwing at it on the stock suspension setup there. Anyway, guys, all your comments, as ever, most welcome. We hope you liked this video. If you did, please click on the circle image to subscribe. And if you hit subscribe, then don't forget to hit that little notifications bell next to it. For the best deal on any of the latest ARRMA V4s, then do contact JJ Customs.